Welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. If you're enjoying this content or any content on the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and a like on the videos does really help. Today, we've got a couple of things to do. We're going to do a barn first, and we're going to find some cars to buy with the amount of money we have in the bank. And then we're going to work on an electric car, if I get my words out. So the first car from the barn is a 1978 Bolt Chapman. Now, we've done a Bolt Chapman previously, but this is the FMW version. So this will be slightly different to the previous, I think in style. I'm not sure about the engine. We'll have a look at the engine in a second. The one we did previously was a V8. This is an i6, so a little bit slower. But still, it's another car to work on, something else to have a look at and fix and restore the factory, as we haven't done one before. And it's going to cost us £15,630. Second car we bought from the barn was a Salem Spectre Fastback from 1969. V8 2-carb engine, nicely done, and it is £26,935. The final car from the barn was the 2003 FMW Panther MK2 Performance version. That's going to be quick. V8 supercharged engine under the bonnet. Our most expensive car that we bought to date, £48,377. And after fixing everything up, as you can see, our money has dropped considerably. But we also made the decision today to also buy the salvaging container. So this will allow us to scrap parts. So we'll no longer need to sell anything that we can't use. We'll scrap it. And then when we're ready to do a duplicate car, we can then upgrade it, all the parts to 1-star standard. And we'll go all the way through every time we get a duplicate, all the way through to 3-star. And then it'll be 3-star performance as the final car of that type. That's the long-term plan. So £2,500, and I was looking at this point, trying to figure out where it was. It's at the back. I went out the front thinking it was there, and that's the toilet. It's not there, and it's actually this little container around the back here, and it's got a little bench to work on. So this is where you scrap different parts. They're all worth different amounts. Obviously, you hit the blue, you get a big bonus. Hit the green, it's the middle, and the yellow is a single piece of scrap. You're guaranteed not to lose anything. That's always a bonus. So there's no loss there. But now we can now earn scrap properly. All the scrap we've got so far, we've got from our crates. And to open the crates, we've got 2 to open. So we'll get these knocked out before we work on the car for today. Another barn and another crate. Okay, we will get through these crates. What have we got this time? Another barn, nice, and an XP bonus. And that has leveled us up to level 20, which is an achievement, a trophy for the PlayStation 4. I saw many things to reach level 20. On to the other one now. This is a second one. And at this point I was actually speaking to people online and getting them to pick the card to see which ones they wanted. An extra £921 and another crate. How many crates can we get in a row, I wonder? And another crate again. And some bonus scrap. I'll take that. I'll keep our scrap going up. I'm not sure how much one car is going to take in scrap. Another crate, some more XP. So it'll be interesting. We want to make sure we've got plenty when we get to that first 1-star car. An extra bonus money there and bonus XP. That is all our crates done. So the car we're going to work on today is a customer car. It was something I don't think we've worked on before. It's a 2013 Autotutto Lavetino. It's an electric car. Hasn't got a massive amount wrong with it, but I just thought something different to work on. And the interesting thing with this is in the other tasks. It actually wants us to increase the tuning by 7 to 12%. And I thought that's something a bit different for us. So, electric car, we'll give it a go. See what we can figure out. First, quick wash, and now we're back in the garage. Once more, I forgot the engine was in the back. Completely didn't even cross my mind the engine was in the back. We've got to find lack of engine power, car doesn't start. There's going to be some issues. We'll start with our usual thing after we take the cover off. We'll start with an examination just to see what we can find out. It looks very different underneath. I did contemplate to get on testing, but we'll take the XP bonus. So we'll do a quick examination, see if this tells us anything that's wrong. You never know, it might do, hopefully. And then we'll start working on it. We haven't done many electric cars. These are new to us. They don't really turn up that often as customer jobs. I think that's why we haven't really done many. I do want to build one myself at some point. Hopefully we can find one. Right, let's have a look at the ODB port. Okay, a couple of things showing up there. One is a battery module that's no good. So I think they're the ones flat underneath the bottom of the car. And the cable's A. To find out where they are. I would say it should be noticeable, would be my guess. I don't know for sure. There's no pressure test because we don't have a pressurized engine, as we don't have fuel in that way. It's electric. We'll check the electrical components, see if there's any issues with those. There is one, relay type A. Looks to be need replacing. Type C is yellow, but I think that's okay. Yeah, there's a couple of yellows in there, but I don't think they're the issue. I think the relay type A will be. Looking at that. We'll do a tyre check. You never know. I will say the tyres actually look in really good condition. Just looking from here. All that tread on them. It's a very sporty number. No, sports tyres are all good. So, we found one part, one of the first three things. We found one of the second. Both of the car does not start issues. Body parts we need to look at afterwards. And increased tuning. So my thinking for the increased tuning is any parts that we need to replace anyway, if we can tune them, that's a bonus. That would save us money, that would save us profit. That's kind of my thinking. And hopefully this won't go as slowly as the previous car we did on tuning. That took a long time to figure out what could go where. Okay, so let's have a look. What can we see? There's got to be, looking at the cables, we know one of those is no good. And we can spot it straight there. You can see it. Slightly different colour to the other one. There was orange all over. This has got brown and orange. So that is one of the cables that came up in our check. It was no good. What else have we got? Anything else that's obvious? What does this house? This is the controller cover. What have we got inside there? Ah, two more parts. There we go. Junction box. That was one of the ones I don't know if did we find that or not? I can't remember now. But it needs replacing. And we also have the inverter. So that's another two parts found. It's not massive out. You can see actually the battery as well. If you look in the centre of the car. Cables, inverter, junction box. So they're all found. Cables and junction box are also lack of engine power. We need to do the relay and the EV battery module. And that's all the parts need replacing. The battery module we can see. We have to get under the car to do. So we'll just lift it up. And generally you always forget you need to lift it up twice. I don't know why, I just never think of it normally. Okay, so battery module, we could tell the difference. They're all silver, this one's got black on it. That's the one that's wrong. Okay, that's done. Take that out. I'm not going to replace it just yet. I want to get all the parts off that we need off. It's quite a simple fix, I would have said. So, junction box. Fuse box, sorry, that's what I meant. There we go, let's find the fuse we need. We know there's one, there we go. Relay, type A. So, as far as I'm aware, there are no performance relays. There's no performance parts for them. So we can just buy the relay and put that in the car. That's the electronics. Should be able to search. I don't know if I've still got tyres on there. There you go, relay done. And we can put that in the car. And that's one problem already solved. As you can see from the length of the video, it's a little bit shorter today. Just because it kind of worked out that way, which is a bonus. Okay, so I think that's everything in that area, so that can go down. Now, we need to see if we can fix anything first. Let's have a look. No, the only thing we can fix actually is the controller cover, and we don't need to do that. So, will any of these parts be in the performance? I'm hoping they are. That will save us some issues later on. If we can change all of these for performance parts, that tuning of the car will be really easy. We'll see. So, if we add them to shopping list, I did say in the last episode when we did tuning that you couldn't add them to shopping list and find them in performance. I'm wrong. And only because I figured this out afterwards. So you can actually go into the performance and search your parts on your shopping list, which makes life a lot easier, because I was really struggling to kind of differentiate between different camshafts for different vehicles. Being able to manually add them to your shopping list and then search them individually in the tuning components is a bonus. That will speed things up no end. And the only reason this is a little bit slower when buying it is because I'm writing it down all the percentages so we can add them up as we go along. So that's the battery that we need to replace. That's going to give us 2%. You only need a minimum of 7. No more than 12, but minimum 7. So that's that one done. Inverter. Nice inverter there. It's a 1% gain. I would say the tuning parts are expensive, but they're not really. £178 after a discount. Junction box. Okay, so we can't buy the junction box from here. Cables. Let's put them on. We only need to replace one. But now I don't know if we're going to be high enough percentage-wise. We still need a junction box. There's no performance part. Are we going to be high enough? Let me just check my numbers. Battery module 2%, inverter 1%, so that's 3%. Cable A is 2%, which is the one we just did. So that gives us a total of 2, 3, 4, 5, 5%. We need a minimum of 7. We're 2% short. I'm just wondering, lower it even down so I can see into the engine. We don't need to replace the other cable, but I wonder if it's worth it. If that gives us 2% as well, that may be worth doing as an extra. I didn't add it to my shopping list, did I? No. Let's add it to shopping list first. I know it's not one we need to replace, so we are going to lose a little bit of profit on this, but I want to make sure we get to 7%. Hopefully it gives us 2. That's the hope. So we can search for that. There we go. And it is 2% as well. So that will give us the minimum 7%. And that would be job complete. So we've replaced the parts that need replacing with performance where possible. We've replaced the part that didn't need replacing with performance just to get us above the minimum. There we go. Did we buy the junction? I don't know. Did we get the junction box? I don't think we did. Better buy this junction box. There we go. We couldn't actually buy. There's not one in the tuning, unfortunately. That if it had been, that we wouldn't have needed the extra cable. But now we can put these 2 new cables on, performance cables, and they're going to be red instead of orange. I'm assuming they just allow more power to go through the car, would be my thinking. So new inverter, updated and upgraded inverter, and then new junction box, standard junction box there. Cover can go back on. I did say this would not be a long fix, it's not at all. And then we just need to replace the battery. And I think we're done with the engine. It's the battery. Battery's okay. I just wanted to double check what the battery was actually called. It is just battery. So back in the air, and we can put the final part back on the car. Will it look different? I'm assuming it will. It's black instead of silver. Imagine doing a full full performance batteries. That would be incredible to see what that changes. But that is that all done. We now just need to put everything back really. If we need to click on it, don't we? I'm struggling to do. I was still at body parts. I forgot all about the body parts, but everything is now done other than that. So we can put the cover back on, the engine cover. I'm always not sure what to call it, but yeah, engine cover back on. We need to close the trunk, boot, bonnet. I don't know what you call it. Body parts we need to look at. So what do we need to take off? Front right door, rear window, right side mirror, windshield. So the right side mirror will come off with the right front door. So rear window, front windshield. Can't fix the windshield. Can't fix the rear window either. Where is that rear window? It's going to be tiny, isn't it? I think it is actually really tiny. Look, little letterbox window at the back there. We should be able to fix the door. I know actually didn't look anything wrong with the door, to be fair. Having fixed the wing mirror. So twice to get 100%, and first time 100%, nice. So all we need to do is now buy the glass. There's nothing else to fix. Perfect. We buy the glass that we need to replace, and we'll just go and chuck it on the dyno just to be sure we've got a 7%. I know it's ticked. I just like to do it just to confirm to myself I've done it correctly. Okay, there we go. That's the rear window. And the windshield is on as well. So we can put everything back on the car. Definitely a very nice sporty number, isn't it? I'm looking forward to getting one and we can actually test it around the test track at some point. Windshield back on, the letterbox rear window back on as well. And that is us done. So we're going to head to the dyno and just double check our work. So here we are. Proceed with the dyno test. Remember to press X to actually start the test instead of standing there for ages thinking, why is it not working? So the car, as standard, has 326 horsepower. I think that's quite good for an electric car. I don't know enough about it, but I'm assuming that's quite good. And we are going to increase it by 7%, hopefully. If my maths is correct, it is indeed. That's an extra 8 horsepower gain. I think we did a good job. Nice and simple. We've spent a serious amount of money today. We've also got to work on something different, which is quite nice. But it means we've completed the task. And that's the important part. We go, come away from that, and we're done. So, as we move the car to the front of the garage, we spent £2,614 fixing this car. It is going to pay us £12,704, which means a profit of £10,090, which isn't a bad profit, to be honest. I think that's a decent profit for a quick day's work. So, quick roundup, we bought 3 cars from the barn. We also now have the salvage container, and we fixed an electric car. A good day's work. If you're enjoying this series, don't forget to drop a subscribe. A like on the episodes does help as well. And we'll see you in the next episode, where we're going to do the rebuild of the Bolt Chapman F-Mill factory condition. We'll see you then.